my first daughter was actually stillborn at 9 months.
Oh, wow.
And I had a perspective about what life would be, what it would look like. And then I had this.
Right.
And deal with it.
It actually made me think about something that I faced. And I never talked about it, publicly. My wife, she was pregnant. I had this buy-in. But she kept telling me, like, I feel like something's not right. But I'm like, I wasn't paying it no mind. Like, this is a blessing. Like, I didn't think I was going to have any more kids. We already decided we weren't going to have no more. And this is here now. I'm all in. And this might be the son I was looking for as well. Because I had my daughter. Probably a few months in, she found out that she had an ectopic pregnancy. It kind of broke me down. And I wasn't prepared for that. I didn't realize how much, buy-in someone can have to a child that's not even here yet.
Yeah, I'm going to teach you everything. And
yeah,
I can't wait to hold you and talk to you. And I still do talk to her.
Yeah.
I do, but it's from a different place.
Maybe that's something I should practice because I get a little teary-eyed off of something just random. Sure, yeah. It's like just thinking of the what if and things like that. And I just feel like my daughter would be such a great big sister. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like it kind of makes me feel something right now just thinking about it.
The Highest Point Podcast. More than a pod, it's a lifestyle.
Yo, welcome to the Highest Point Podcast. This is a podcast for everyone, no matter where you're from, no matter what you've been through. You deserve the best and willing to put in the work for progress to reach the highest point. Now, speaking about reaching the highest point, ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special guest in the building. She's a vocalist. She's a podcast host. She's a fashion designer, a mother, an advocate for our children. We have none other than Miss Queen Sanaa in the building. Hey, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing well. Thank you so much for asking. I commend you for all the things you're doing. You pour into your community. You're being a voice for our kids. And also when it comes to this music game, this music industry, it's a hard thing. But those are things that don't happen overnight. It's a process to get to those type of things. And on this show, we like to really focus in on the journey of our guests. So the audience can kind of get insight on, okay, I understand she's doing these great things now, but how did you get there? Yeah. That's what we kind of want to dive into. So can we first go back and find out, where are you from and what were your family dynamics growing up?
Okay. So I was born in Brooklyn, New York. Shout out to Brownsville. And I lived in the home with my mother and my father, all of my siblings and a cat. And we lived in the same building as my grandmother. So we had a full village type of situation going on growing up. Right at about 12, 13 years old, my parents decided to separate. And that was really tough. And I took it really hard. Mm-hmm. So one of my outlets was writing songs.
Wow.
Creating music just from what I felt inside. And I had a lot of big feelings inside at that age.
Right.
And in addition, I had been making Barbie dresses from socks since the age of 4. So at that same time I started writing songs, I started learning how to create clothes.
Oh, nice.
So they were kind of born at the same time.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope. Now, can we get into that a little bit? Like when you said that, you took it hard, because a lot of times people face that separation, as a child. Was it when you say took it hard, did you blame yourself at all?
Honestly, I was mad at my mom.
What's behind that?
I don't know.
Wow.
Even to this age, I know that for a long time, I really identified with my dad.
Right.
So for me, it came out in the form of anger. I was very angry at that age. I became rebellious. I didn't want to do what I was supposed to do, the hard-headed preteen.
Yes.
So what I reflect on the most when I look back is I'm grateful that I had an outlet that was positive, because it could have went so many different ways back then.
Right. Yeah. And that's important. So even like when people tuning in, like if you have kids and you don't want to take that thing away. If that's their outlet, even though, okay, she's being sassy, she's not, giving me that respect that I know I deserve as the parent, the mother, the father. If there is some type of outlet, let them get it,
Yeah.
Now,
and quick shout out to my mom too, because she really, she looked at that and she really invested in positive aspects.
Yeah, she was patient with you.
She was patient.
She understood. So, anything you would, say to your mom now when it comes to that?
Thank you.
Absolutely. Shout out to her, shout out to the pops, and just everything, because that's that relationship, it just impacts everyone involved. And a lot of times we tend to tell people to separate them, but it's like you can't separate it. Like those are all our relationships are intertwined. But I did want to ask you also, you spoke about the importance of the family voice. So I wanted to ask you, could you define what the family voice is? And also, who was that family voice? Who was that core family voice in your family growing up?
Okay, those are a couple of questions. So I'm going to answer with the definition first. Family voice, parent voice, it brings cultural beliefs, values, insight into what your children experience and how they grow and how they learn. And it's a way to bring it into the systems that affect the children and the families so that you can kind of inform the outcomes, because nothing about us without us. A lot of decisions are made for children and families by people who have nothing to do with those children and families.
Right.
So how do we expect that to work?
Right. Right. So true. So true.
So in my family, that voice was, in a lot of ways, it was my mom. But when we looked up in the window, when we were cutting up in the classroom, usually it was my dad standing there.
Yeah.
And I think that might be one of the reasons I identified with him so much, because as a parent now, kind of the same way. Be lurking in the corner, trying to see what's going on.
Yes. So true. So true. I definitely relate to that, because I definitely tap on, look through a window, seeing what's going on. I believe in those pop-ups at the school, and all of that. So, just talking about that, that's the voice that was of your family. What difference did it make on the household, and how do you think things would have been if your father wasn't there?
Well, I can say from the lived experience aspect, as a young person, knowing that at any time my dad might be in the window of that classroom, I was more prone to get it together and do what I was supposed to do. And when I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do, he was right there and he was having the conversations. Well, how can we help her navigate this and get to a place of wellness in this situation?
Right.
So from the lived experience perspective, once they were separated and that wasn't there, it was whatever.
Right. Little free fall. Yeah. And something important you just said there was like, let's have that conversation. It sounded like your pops conversated with you, not more so like you were just like so scared out of fear, like what he gonna put hands on me, but there was a conversation. It's a different type of tone the father may have. Also, maybe he just put words together differently that you related to, and you said you relate to him more. And I think that dynamic of those two parents working together is so important, because, and then also I think it's important for us to understand who does what well. So it's time for you to tap in and I'm going to tap out, because this is your area, that you're stronger at.
For sure.
And
I got my style from my mama.
Yeah.
And it's the balance. I think that's important for any family.
Yes. So true. So true. Speaking about, how it would be without them. One thing about us, we're human, right? So that means, none of us going to, live forever. So my wife literally is talking to her mom, the woman, right? Ms. Marva, shout out to her as well. She made this connection with us. But we're speaking about having things in order for when they're not on this earth anymore, her and her pops. So how do we prepare that next generation to be the voice for the family? You know what I mean? And do you think those conversations happen enough?
I will say, no, I don't think they happen enough. I think as a people, unfortunately, and I know we're not a monolith, but unfortunately, we tend to have this perspective of we can do it tomorrow.
Right.
It's always going to be time, don't worry about it. That's why the GoFundMe thing is so rampant.
Right.
When something happens, we're not having life insurance conversations. We're not having as many investment conversations as we should be having. Maybe it should start before a child starts school. Maybe it should be dinner time conversations.
Right.
So that by the time they're actually introduced to it, they're familiar with it.
Right.
It's not a strange concept.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
My mom worked on Wall Street. She worked with stocks and bonds and investments. So when I finally started learning about it, it wasn't foreign. It made sense what I was hearing about. How many children have the opportunity to have that experience?
Not many.
Yeah. So I think teaching children how to save. Oh, I got a quarter. I'm going to the store. Well, back then, a quarter could get something from the store. Right? Put that quarter away. I'll match it.
Right.
I have $5. I want to go, get a snack or something. Put that $5 away. If you save it for a week, I'll give you 10.
Right.
Right. Something like that to help them understand the value of preparing.
Yes.
The value of don't let it burn a hole in your pocket.
Right.
And I know that's just financial, but a lot of the future depends on, financial wellness.
Yes.
Right. Again, that conversation about life insurance, the conversation about healthy eating,
right?
The conversation about how you show up when you go outside. How are you representing this family? Because that same perspective is going to resonate when they're adults.
Absolutely.
So there's a lot of layers and levels to that, I think.
Yes, I totally agree. And even when it comes to those finance, having those conversations, that still boils back to being that voice, because the more you speak about it, the more you're comfortable with it. Because even as adults, if a parent wanted to talk to a child right now, if they as an adult, but they never talked to them about death before, they're like, oh, okay, mom, dad, I don't even want to talk about it. I don't even want to visualize you being dead. Like, I don't want to talk about this. They can be very resistant to that conversation because, again, that same mindset, I'll talk about this tomorrow. Tomorrow ain't promised. And when it comes to people, just not being here anymore. One thing about it is, death can bring a lot of people that you haven't seen in a long time come around. That can happen, but also it can cause so much drama as well.
Write you a will.
Right.
Have you an attorney.
Yes.
Have you a power of attorney. A healthcare power of attorney.
Right.
You never know when something's going to happen when you can't decide what's going to happen to you health-wise.
Right.
It's important.
Yes. And it comes right back to that voice. And having them prepared, having those things in place, it will alleviate all confusion. It's nothing to fight or fuss about. Here it is right here in black and white. Yeah. This is what they wanted.
I always ask myself, if that conversation comes about, I'm supposed to get this, I'm supposed to get that, who gets all the money? I don't really see myself having that fight. I more so seeing myself like, y'all got it.
Right.
It's okay, And I say that from the perspective of you want to think that we're building our own to the point that we don't have to fight for what belongs to someone else or what came from someone else. And even that has levels and layers, but I visualize the family, different families like snatching and grabbing and,
yes.
Something happens, they go clean out someone's house or I don't know. I don't think that's a mindset that we should be comfortable functioning in.
Right. So true. Now, while we're speaking about next generation, I understand that, you have some children. You're like 2 girls and a set of twins. Is that right? Can you give us a little insight about, their ages?
Yeah. So my oldest is 23 and she also does some social media marketing. She's a beast out here. And my 20-year-old is, she's currently exploring the world. And as a parent, that is bittersweet. It's very hard and I'm very proud of her.
Okay.
My twins are 9.
Oh, wow. Such a big gap.
Yeah, huge gap. Long story. But I'm grateful for them. I'm grateful for each of them. And they all have wonderful personalities. And no, they're not the reason my hair turns gray. Not at all.
Right. Now, we talked about that gap with the children. Now, have your kids that's in their 20s ever compared your parenting versus them to how you parent your child, the twins?
Yes.
Kind of, what did they say?
I was, sorry to cut you off. I remember I was in my DMs on Instagram one day, and one of my daughters had sent me a meme that says, "No, beat him with the refrigerator like you did me." Oh my God. It's like, okay, hint taken, you know, but they also congratulate me on the ability to grow as a parent, look at things differently, maybe not be as harsh as I was when I was a younger parent, have a little more insight and flexibility. So I appreciate that that feedback. It means a lot to me as a parent.
Right, yeah. If you could give your younger self being a first-time mom, any type of advice, what would you say to yourself?
So I would talk to myself before becoming a parent, and I would say, wait. Wait until you're a little older, a little wiser, till you have a little more to offer them, and get some of that anger out.
Ooh, yeah.
Get it out before you pass it on.
Ooh, yeah, so true. Yeah. So true. That's some good game. And I asked that question for others that, you know, they may be young, you know, maybe thinking about it or not thinking about how you can become pregnant, and it can really just flip your life around.
Be abstinent. Yeah, be abstinent.
Yeah.
Be abstinent, children. Y'all, children. Sometimes you don't know a person until years after you've been together. If you bring children into the world before you've done all that evaluating, that research, that decision making, that's it. They're here. And now they have to learn how to work through your stuff.
Right.
I'm not telling you what to do with your body, but we all know how you get pregnant. Just try. Be abstinent. You will love yourself for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
It can take so much years, you know, from your life, your trajectory. And you know, also kids can be a great thing, but it can really, you know, change a lot. And also I think when it comes to parents maybe not being so pushing off birth control too, you know, because that's another thing. Like some parents just don't want to have that conversation, and then the kids don't feel comfortable having a conversation either, and then that can leave room for error for them to have those kids at a younger age. Yeah, you know.
I don't disagree with that. I will say, lived experience again. Sometimes birth control does not do. Even when used properly,
right,
it's not 100% effective. So I do want to push that. And that is the reason why I have the abstinence message.
Yeah, that's 100%.
You know, because if you think you're doing all that you're supposed to do, you're taking your birth control and something doesn't do what it's supposed to do, and now you have a kid, you still have to deal with that same stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
But I also think that even outside of all that, because, right, it's your body, you do what you decide to do with your body. Just, you know, be willing to deal with the consequences. But heal your inner child. Before all of that, before even thinking about laying down with somebody else, deal with that inner child, because this relationship that you're even in can be you living out your trauma or your unhealed stuff too.
Right.
You know? And I don't think we really think about that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. That is so true. And this talking about that, it brings me to a segment in my show. It's called Love, Loyalty, or Respect. And what I'm going to say is I'm going to give you some relationships. You let me know what you feel is the most important in that relationship. Love, loyalty, or respect. Not that the others are not there, but you feel like this is leads the way. So love, loyalty, or respect when it comes to your significant other.
As a woman, I think it's important to respect the man in the relationship. I can love him, but if my mouth is dangerous,
right,
I'm gonna tear him down.
Right.
You know, I can be loyal, but same thing. If I don't value his decisions, how can he lead me?
Ooh. That is the truth right there. So how about when it comes to your man, what you expect from your man to you?
I just want him to love me.
Ooh.
However I can. In my rollers, in my bonnet.
Right.
Just want him to love me and everything I bring to the table.
Absolutely. All right, next. Love, loyalty, or respect when it comes to your siblings.
Loyalty.
Why?
We got to stick together no matter what. Don't throw nobody under the bus.
Please. I'm your brother. I'm your sister. Jesus.
Yes. Come on now.
Yeah, so true. All right, final one. Love, loyalty, or respect when it comes to your children.
Now, that's a tough one.
Mm-hmm.
Because children need love.
Yes.
To be nourished, for them to thrive. Children also need respect.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that as parents, we have a tendency to skim over that part.
Right.
But then expect respect. We're not modeling that.
Right.
But definitely I would lead with love for them to grow in a healthy way.
Absolutely. I definitely understand and agree with that. And when it comes to that respect piece, we always tell them in order to get respect, you have to give it.
And then we don't give it.
Take a look in the mirror, parents. Me included. I gotta, and it's okay for us to check ourselves sometime, It's important. Something like that happened today, this morning, like say something like, wait, I shouldn't have said it like that. Let me go back. Yeah. And that's okay. And I think kids will respect you more for that. And then they see that habit and they can create a habit for themselves. Exactly. You know what I mean? Yeah. So,
but I do want to revisit, because you said the significant other thing. My reference is biblical, and it's talking about the man love your wife and the woman respect your husband. And I think that that's valuable.
Yes.
I think we put a lot of thought into that, though.
Yes. So true. Now, this is just random. Like when I'm having this discussion with you, have you always had this kind of like mellow tone? It's, easy to talk to, or this somewhere you got?
Have I always been down to earth? Yes. Used to be a little loud though. Kind of wild, little firecracker in my teens. I think that life humbled me for one. And I think that for two, as a vocal music artist, I learned the hard way why you need to be soft on your vocal cords. And then for three, I'm at a place in my life where I really just have a lot of peace. And so that's what comes out when I speak.
Absolutely. I can definitely hear that. And I think that's transferable too. I heard you talking to your son, and, even when you said that, he lost privilege of something, the way you talk to him is still this nice, even tone. And I hear this much respect. Everything was coming out of his mouth was yes, ma'am, and things like that. I could tell those things are embedded. And I think that's important. And it sounds like you are doing the things that, you're talking about. Because I literally seen this is my first time, meeting you in person, and I'm seeing this relationship that you have.
He's going to be a man.
Right.
He's going to be someone's man. And he does not need to bring a ton of unresolved mommy issues to that relationship.
That's a real thing.
So serious. I really don't know how many women realize who we're creating with how we interact with the young men and women in our lives.
Yes. Yeah. And you don't want, anatomy wise, this is a male that you're raising, but if you're not careful, you can have him having responses as if like a female, because that's all he's seen.
Yeah. Emotional, underdeveloped, not much logic.
Right.
And I think that it's important to teach him that balance. So I can't be all emotionally all over the place either.
Right. Yeah, so true. And, that's us understanding, being aware of ourselves, and that's how you can, that's one thing about being parents we have to be is, aware of ourselves, so I think that's really important. You made some good points there.
He's still going to catch the people's elbow from time to time.
Of course. The kids hard headed. Life has humbled you. Sometimes you have to humble the kids.
It's all in love though.
Yes. So let's pivot a little bit.
Okay.
Because also you're an entrepreneur, and I understand that you're a fashion designer, and you actually have a Black is Beautiful show coming up soon.
Okay, so I'll start with the third annual Black is Beautiful Bridal Show. This is actually my first year hearing about it. As a member of my local Chamber of Commerce, I have access to a lot of events and things. And I was asked to be a part of this show, so as a vendor. And because I happen to have a non-traditional wedding dress collection, like a one and done, it's an exclusive custom wedding dresses. It's like, hey, this might be a good opportunity to show people that you don't just have to do, the all white long train. Right. What about the older brides? What about the young trendy brides? What about the brides who have children already?
Right.
So maybe you want to bring something different to the table.
Absolutely.
So that's what I'll be featuring. And then I will be featuring my brand new men's bow tie collection. So couture, custom bow ties, be a leather set. Yeah, just a couple of different things. So y'all stay tuned. And even if you can't attend, definitely do look for the pictures. So I have Savvy Chic Clothing, which is custom wear. It's ready to wear. It's a lot of different things. And you can take a look and form your own opinion. On Instagram, it's ITS, it's SAVVY, Savvy, CHIC, chic, and then the word clothing. On Facebook, it's also Savvy Chic Clothing. And then my website is savvychiclothing.com. I incorporate my fashion with my music because as an artist, when you perform, you always want to have an impeccable wardrobe.
Yes.
So my music is Queen Sana Music, and you can find that at queensanamusic.com or on Instagram, QS Queen Sana. But what I would strongly suggest is that you go to my YouTube channel, which is also QS Queen Sana. You can find my videos, you can find some of my podcast episodes, you can listen to some of my songs, and again, form your own opinion. But I take all of this and I use it as a way to give back. So I also donate back to the community.
Right.
I donate socks. I donate my time. I donate sewing lessons. I donate singing lessons because these are the things that help me stay out of trouble.
Wow.
I want to give youth something to aspire to.
Yes.
I want to remind them that creativity can kind of keep you on top of all those other things that try to weigh you down.
Now, also, I wanted to ask you about, how did you get into the designs, the fashion?
Okay, so I mentioned before, I used to take socks that I could not find the matches to, cut the little toe out, turn it into a Barbie dress, take a little needle and thread and sew it till it fit. And my dad kind of helped me with that. When I was going through the things I was going through as a teenager, it turns out that there was an option to take a sewing class at school. Took the class, learned the technique, picked up right away, and just went crazy, just making whatever I could make.
Right.
I would wear something to school and a classmate would go, "Oh, I like that. Where'd you get it?" "I made it." "Oh, can I have it?" $20. I take it off, get the $20, making sales like
hustling
that.
Early.
Yeah, listen. But honestly, that was a confidence booster because I just thought, oh, I have on these homemade clothes. And other people saw it and they were like, oh, that's amazing. And so that taught me to see that it was also amazing.
Right.
And a lot of my technique is self-taught. I, just would spend hours developing different techniques. So it's kind of an exclusive thing that I bring to the table, But yeah, every now and again, I will take another class and kind of refresh my skills and see what's new in the sewing world. And yeah. Got
you. Now, I also want to transition into, some of your singing, your songs and things like that, because, I wanted to have another segment where we can kind of gauge your style a little bit. I want to kind of get some insight on some of your musical preferences. Okay. So if you're familiar with some of these people, this segment is called Who You Rockin' With. So I'm going to give you two options, not meaning that, you don't like the other, but if you see these two names, you're going to go to this one first. So you with me there?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So the first one, who you rocking with? Brandy or Monica?
Come on, Brandy all day.
Oh, word? Yes. Brandy, that was easy?
Have you ever heard her a cappella vocal riffs and her stacks and her harmonies? Brandy influenced a lot of my harmony style.
Nice. Yeah, Brandy go hard.
She does.
I honestly, when they did the verses, I was shocked that she beat Monica so easily.
Come on, man. It's
I was like, I forgot. I was like, was I tripping? Maybe because Monica had the bigger personality, but when it came to that music, when they were dropping them tracks, I was like, ooh, Brandy going hard.
Brandy is a beast.
Yes.
And she's got, well, shout out to Monica.
Yeah, for sure.
Also does her thing, but Brandy is just, she's that girl.
Yeah. I mean, I can't disagree with you. I can't disagree with you. So the next one, who you rocking with? It's kind of a new people here. And I'm not sure, her or Summer Walker.
I would say her. And, I just really started listening to Summer Walker, and I like her voice, but her is like the girl next door in music to me. And even though she's very stylish, but she also plays the guitar.
She do.
And listen, you can't beat being able to play an instrument and sing.
Yes. I think she played multiple instruments.
Okay, so
yeah. She's very talented. Yeah, yes. Okay, next we're gonna go back a little bit, like the '90s. Lauryn Hill or Jill Scott?
Ooh, that's hard. Well, Jill doesn't rap, so I don't think that's fair. But when we talk about, golly, Lauren is my girl. Come on.
Yes, she's a legend.
Right. But when we talk about vocal tone and delivery, Jill Scott all day.
Ooh, nice. So do you think Lauren was just like a better writer, but Jill got the better vocals?
I think Lauren was an excellent writer. I think Lauren has an amazing voice. Jill Scott is like the grits. She's the, I don't want to say ham hocks. I don't eat pork, but she's like the smoked turkey.
Yeah. You're right. She tender.
She's the butter biscuits, Lauryn Hill is the beef patty and cocoa bread.
Right.
I'm not going to do that every day.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. Okay. So, all right. Usher or Chris Brown?
On adorability, Chris Brown. Talent, longevity, musical maturity, Usher. All day.
Good points. Okay. Jagged Edge or Drew Hill?
Ooh, gosh, why? I'm going to go with the boys from the A, Jagged Edge for sure. But Drew Hill, they also really...
Yes.
I just was listening to them last night.
Wow.
Yeah, but I would take Jagged Edge any day.
Nice. Hey, you can't go wrong with either one. All right, last one. Who you rocking with? Tank or Tyrese?
Tank.
Yeah.
I like the way Tank bigs other artists up.
That's true.
And he's written for so many people. It's ridiculous. People you wouldn't even have known he wrote for.
Right.
Background vocals on Missy Elliott's early work.
Right.
A lot of people don't know that.
Well, you know your stuff.
Yeah. I like Tyrese's origin story. I really do. But Tank is, he's a monster.
Yeah, he's a beast. He got a pretty dope podcast too.
Yeah. Yes, he does.
Yeah. I was like, he be having fun. He start freestyling on the piano, all type of stuff. It's like, I'm like, yo, this is dope though.
Well, when you have talent, you can do that. Though.
Right, right, undeniable. Like just freestyling songs. It's like, I love it.
He'll never go broke.
No. Shout out Tank. Hey, come on the show, Tank.
Yeah, really.
All right, so now we got an idea of your style, and I want to dive into some of your lyrics. So, I was listening to some of your songs. I do my research.
Thank you for listening.
Oh, yes, for sure. Now, in one of your songs on The Kids, you said, if I knew what I knew right now, I wouldn't be afraid. I want to know, what's behind that message and, what were you once afraid of and what happened in your journey to overcome that fear or face it?
I was afraid of success or failure. You don't necessarily know what you're going to get when you put yourself out there. But if you don't put yourself out there, you won't know how to change what needs to be changed for the best outcome, right? And I don't know. I didn't believe in me. Again, I would hear about the nice clothes, but I didn't feel this is what I'm coming with. I didn't have that. It took a lot. When life humbled me and I had that quiet time to sit down and really think about it, I found my why.
Mm.
And when I found my why, there was no fear in that, you know. It helped me build my confidence.
Right.
Healing some of that stuff I experienced as a younger person. It helped me decide it doesn't matter what people think or say. It's what I'm putting out. This is what I want to do. This is what builds me. This is what builds the people around me.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So true. Now, we talked about this humbling a couple times. Is there anything, what was that why? What was in life that just, made some things pivot for you? Is there anything in particular?
Boy. Yeah, could write a book. We'll write a book one day.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say 2 critical things that happened in my life. The first thing was my first daughter was actually stillborn at 9 months.
Oh, wow.
And I had a perspective about what life would be, what it would look like. And then I had this.
Right.
And deal with it. And I had to.
Right.
No matter what that looked like, I had to make some choices.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the first thing that really showed me, things aren't always going to be what you want them to be. You have to decide what you're going to do about that.
Absolutely.
Right? And then the second thing that happened was my twin, shout out to Life the Legend, he passed away a month after my twins were born. So
Wow.
2 really big things, and during that pregnancy with my twins, he was my best friend. That's
Right.
who I talked to every day, all day.
Right.
And, I had some ideas about what he would teach my son and all this
Right.
other stuff. And then he just wasn't there.
Right.
So I actually did not sing for a couple of years after that happened. And when I finally found my voice again, there was a lot of him behind it.
Right.
So I stopped being afraid. It's okay to sing. Nothing's going to happen.
Right.
And if it does happen, it's not because you decided to sing or you decided to make this thing. It's just, that's a part of life and it's okay.
Right.
Just keep doing what you do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's an awesome testimony, because some people face those things a lot, honestly.
Yeah.
It actually made me think about something that I faced, and I never talked about it, publicly, but just being real and transparent as well. I was, my wife, she was pregnant. We didn't think we were gonna have any other kids, but I was like, I had this buy-in. But she kept telling me, like, I feel like something's not right. But I'm like, I wasn't paying that no mind. I'm like, look, like, this is a blessing. Like, I didn't think I won't have any more kids. We already decided we weren't gonna have no more, and this is here now. I'm all in, and this might be the son I was looking for as well, because I had my daughter, like, so my head was just all over the place. And probably a few months in, she found out that she had an ectopic pregnancy. So, we had to, go through that. Obviously, that's just not going to work, right? But it kind of broke me down, and I wasn't prepared for that. I didn't realize how much, buy-in someone can have to a child that's not even here yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm going to teach you everything, and
yeah,
I can't wait to hold you and talk to you. And I still do talk to her.
Yeah.
I do, but it's from a different place.
Right.
It's a thank you for not coming back then. Thank you for me having some time to kind of figure some things out first.
Right. Maybe that's something I should practice, because sometimes I literally, not like a breakdown, but I get a little teary-eyed off of something just random.
Yeah.
It's like, just thinking of the what if and things like that. And I just feel like my daughter will be such a great big sister.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, it kind of makes me feel something right now just thinking about it, but it's so real. And I think like just me having that conversation in a different type of way can kind of help me deal with it when I'm in those type of moments,
Yeah. I will say it took at least 10 years for me to even process to start healing from it. So
Right.
it's fair to listen, I almost had a little tear right there, and I'm not going to cry on camera, but it's fair to feel what you feel.
Right.
I think when we get stuck because of those feelings, that's when it's that thing where you got to say, no, come on, baby.
Yeah.
You can do what you got to do.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Yeah.
So true. So true. Yeah, I appreciate you sharing that. And that helped me a little bit too, because I think we all can get things from each other, you know, and I think these conversations are so important for everyone to feel okay to talk about those things, because it helps.
Yeah,
it really helps.
For sure. And thank you for sharing as well.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, we talked about that. I also had another lyric I wanted to dive into.
Okay.
Nervous. You know, it's like, but you know, you said you're a star, know who you are. So who is Sanaa now? You know, and what was that defining factor to help you make that discovery?
It's a good question. I gotta ponder on that for
Yeah, sure.
I just thought of one.
Mm-hmm.
When I graduated undergrad, Eagle Pride, shout out to NCCU. I took about 8 years to finish. I sat out, I went back to work, I went back to school, you know, just the whole thing. And when I finished, my 23-year-old was holding my hand across the stage, and my 20-year-old was in my arms. And they walked with me. And in that moment, I don't know, anything that I felt that said, you can't do this, you're a single mom, your life is not what you think it should be, you know, you're going to fail at everything. It was gone in that moment, you know? And so from there, any of the things that I wanted to do, I did. I remember I opened up for Floetry and Goapele and Juvenile at a show years ago. And I thought to myself, yeah, I'm doing this.
Yeah.
You know, I'm all the things.
Yeah.
So it's those small defining moments that I build on and I keep growing from.
Right.
And I just add to that.
Right.
And that mirror talk and that positive affirmation is the biggest part. In fact, this entire song is an affirmation. And I put them on my wall around the house. There are affirmations everywhere. In my children's rooms, there are affirmations everywhere. The mirrors in the bathroom, everywhere. And I look in the mirror and I say, you're a star. You are important. You matter. You are God's own. And you have to do that.
Yes.
You have to do that because the world will beat you down.
Yes, it will.
Tell you every day that you don't have value or that your community is not worthy of repairs or that your credit is not as good as, you know, this other person whose credit is maybe not as good as yours, right? Or your child doesn't necessarily deserve the accolades that a person next to them didn't work as hard for.
Right.
And that can't matter as much as what you believe about yourself.
So true. So true. Like you determine your value, not other people.
That's it.
You know?
That's it.
You know, I asked you about, you know, that, you know, defining moment, you know, because in life we do have to find ourselves. That's not an immediate thing. That's something you find across time.
Absolutely.
And so if you're not sure who you are, you know, right now, that's okay. Because you can find out who that person is. You know, just continue to self-reflect, look at yourself. And, you know, those moments in life that you know, feel maybe humbling. Yeah, be humble in it. Learn from those things so you can find yourself so you don't be lost forever. Because there are some people that are lost forever because they never took that time to find themselves. You found yourself. You had that defining moment, walking across that, knowing that, you know what? I can't do anything. I'm powerful. I'm important. I got this. Because you just really did something that was a really good accomplishment.
And then I planted a seed.
Right.
Planted a seed twice.
Yes.
Same time, and then, fast forward to seeing my oldest walk across the stage at ECU, I just reflected back to that moment and thought to myself, she's not carrying any children across the stage.
Ooh.
I was just like that is what brought me to tears. I'm about to cry now because even in that moment, I feel like generational curses were broken.
It was.
And that is what fuels my parent voice, my advocacy, my parent leadership, the speaking on behalf of my young people, the teaching other parents how to do the same thing.
Yes.
They got to know.
Absolutely.
They got to know.
Absolutely. So that was good there. So you talked about how people can find your music already. You guys definitely tap in. She got some, amazing music. And also I'm going to have some music of hers, playing right at the end of the show, so you can get a little glimpse of it. Yeah. But you go directly to her. I'm going to have her link right in the comment section. Well, actually in the description section, so you can go directly to her YouTube. I'll make sure you send that to me so I can make sure the people can tap in with you, because I think your voice, your story is all worth being heard. Everyone's voice and story is worth being heard, and I think, having those positive affirmations is so important for the kids and the adults. Is there any other word that you want to leave the audience with, or anything before we wrap it up?
Yes. Okay. No matter what anyone else thinks, the only thought that matters is what you think of yourself. So do a little reflection, evaluate where you are, and define right in that moment who it is that you want to be and how you want to show up in the world. And go with it. You want to be a criminal? You're the best criminal. I'm kidding.
You know where you end up at, right?
Consequences are going to be with
right.
That. Yeah, just define how you want to show up and own it. Own it.
Yes, so true, so true. I can't end no better than that, you all. So until next time, you guys hold it down. Don't let it hold you. Peace.
The Highest Point Podcast.
More than a pod, it's a lifestyle.